Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving my review for Turbo Cola. This is a film that my friend enjoyed, so I thought I'd give it a shot, just see what I thought. And it had potential for me, but it just completely missed the mark for me personally. This is about a film. This is a film that's about two two guys. One works at this convenience store. The other one's his longtime best friend, and they're going to rob this ATM. And the guy that works the convenience store, the one that works the convenience store, he's doing it because he needs money to leave and go to New York with his girlfriend. And it's just basically, it takes place during the year, in 1999. At the very end, they all fixing to be New Year's. We're hitting that Y2K, all the Y2K stuff's going on. And it's just everything leading up to. I think it takes place like probably. I think it's the very end of December because we're actually going into the new year, so it takes place on New Year's Eve, we'll say. And the movie just, like I said, it completely misses the mark. They are wanting to rob this ATM, and the way they're doing it for me made no sense. So they're wanting to pretend, they're pretending like they're stocking the freezer. And instead of going in behind the freezer to the little walk-in area behind it, they're stocking it from the front. And while doing it, they're reaching behind and stealing money out of the ATM from behind it, because for some odd reason this ATM is opened up from behind to where you could just reach behind and grab money out, which made no sense. The money, the way it was put in there, made no sense. It wouldn't be so messy. There wouldn't be money in there that looked like it was wrapped up in little money things. Because this is an ATM. The money's got to be put in there neatly. It's got to be able to be taken out through the machine when somebody wants money out. So for it to be just a mess and to be stealing money wrappers, basically, it didn't make no sense. And for him just to be able to reach behind it and grab money out didn't make no sense, especially when you have a movie in Barbershop where they steal an ATM and can't even crack the sucker open to get the money out. They spent the whole movie trying to crack the sucker open. Yeah, he's just reaching behind it and stealing and taking money from it. None of that made sense to me. And you wouldn't stock it from the front. You'd stock it from the back. And because you want the cold drinks to the front and the hot to the back. So that didn't make no sense to me. The ending didn't make no sense to me. They're everybody that you've seen throughout this movie end up back at the convenience store because of a situation that happens involving this jock, and the sort of other best friend to our main guy. He ends up getting upset, maybe jealous, and pulls out a gun. Then he ends up shooting the jock accidentally. Doesn't kill him, it just kind of grazes or goes through his shoulder. And their big plan is to go to the hospital, tell them that they were robbed, and that the guy accidentally shot him. It was just a weird plan, and it didn't make sense because they ended up like picking up all the money, cleaning up the blood, and I'm sitting here thinking, you're telling this big scheme where you got robbed and blah 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 blah. You obviously they're going to be searching for evidence. They're going to want to know where it happened. They want to know all this. What? Why are you cleaning up all the evidence? Why are you cleaning up the blood? They're going to wonder why everything's cleaned up. Like, none of that made sense to me, you know. And then they erased the tape, and I'm like, why are you erasing the tape? I mean, and that was the other thing with the tape was throughout this whole movie, our main guy is sitting there at times worried about what's being shown about stuff being shown on the tape, and then other times he wasn't. Like, there was a scene where this girl comes in and she sees him stealing money from the ATM out the back, so he lets her steal a bunch of stuff, and she ends up taking, which it could have worked because she was short. They probably couldn't have saw her taking it from the angle the camera was at that they showed. But then they have her like pick up this whole entire, I think like a musketeer or something, just the whole box of them, and walk out with it in her hands. And I'm like, that's going to be on camera. And even if he erased, and then the thing is, he erases the whole day. What's his excuse for the tape being, there being no footage? Because if there was no footage, and he'd have to, it. I don't know. It just, to me, the whole thing just, it didn't work for me. The story just did not make logical sense. A lot of technical errors, in my opinion. It had potential. It just didn't capitalize on anything. I gave it a 2 out of 5. Nothing I would watch again. Nothing I could recommend. I thought the acting was probably the best part, and that's really it. I mean, that was technically the best thing about it. It did have a couple of comedic things happen in it, but it's just it was kind of boring, honestly. It felt slow and kind of boring. So I think 2 out of 5 is fair. Uh, I think that at least I gave it a shot. I tried it. Um, Unfortunately for me, it just didn't work out. So, but that is everything for my review for Turbo Cola. So please comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified for our videos, and we'll see you on the next one.